Black gold, heavy burden, Canada's oil sands dilemma. The oil sands of Alberta are one of the largest reserves of crude oil in the world. This vast expanse of bitumen-rich soil has been a cornerstone of Canada's economy, providing jobs and revenue. However, the extraction process is not without its significant challenges and controversies. Canada is known for its beautiful nature. Think tall mountains, clear lakes, and vast forests. These natural wonders are a source of national pride and a major draw for tourists from around the globe. The pristine wilderness areas are home to diverse wildlife and are crucial for maintaining ecological balance. But Canada also has a secret, hidden deep underground. Beneath the surface lies a treasure trove of oil sands, a mixture of sand, water, clay, and bitumen. This bitumen can be processed into synthetic crude oil, but the extraction and processing are complex and resource-intensive. This secret is the oil sands, also called tar sands. The process of extracting oil from these sands involves either mining or in-situ techniques, both of which have significant environmental footprints. Mining requires clearing large areas of forest, while in-situ extraction involves injecting steam into the ground to separate the bitumen from the sand. They hold a huge amount of oil, a kind of black gold. This resource has the potential to make Canada a leading player in the global energy market. The oil sands are a critical part of the country's energy strategy, contributing significantly to national and provincial economies. This oil can bring wealth, but getting it out harms the environment. The extraction process generates greenhouse gases, disrupts wildlife habitats, and contaminates water sources. The tailings ponds, which store the waste byproducts of the extraction process, pose a long-term environmental risk. This is the dilemma of Canada's oil sands. On one hand, the economic benefits are undeniable. On the other, the environmental costs are substantial. This conflict has sparked heated debates among policymakers, environmentalists, and industry leaders. Is it possible to have both the oil and a healthy environment? Some believe that technological advancements and stricter regulations can mitigate the environmental impact. Innovations in carbon capture and storage, as well as more efficient extraction methods, offer some hope for a more sustainable future. This is the question Canada is trying to answer. The government is under pressure to balance economic growth with environmental stewardship. Policies are being crafted to ensure that the oil sands industry operates responsibly, but the path forward is fraught with challenges. It's a question that affects us all. The impact of Canada's oil sands extends beyond its borders, contributing to global climate change. As the world grapples with the urgent need to reduce carbon emissions, the future of the oil sands industry remains uncertain. The choices made today will shape the environmental and economic landscape for generations to come. Buried treasure. Where and what are the oil sands? Imagine a thick, sticky substance like tar mixed with sand. This is what oil sands are. They are found mostly in one Canadian province, Alberta. In fact, Alberta has the third largest oil reserves in the world, thanks to these oil sands. The oil in the sands is called bitumen. It's very thick and heavy, unlike regular oil. This makes it harder and more expensive to get out of the ground. Unearthing the prize. Extracting oil from sand. The process of extracting oil from sand is a fascinating and complex endeavor that involves a combination of advanced technology, heavy machinery, and meticulous planning. This chapter will take you through the intricate steps involved in this massive operation. Getting oil from oil sands is a big job. It requires a coordinated effort of various machines and techniques to efficiently extract the valuable resource hidden within the sands. The scale of these operations is truly immense, with vast areas of land being dedicated to the extraction process. There are two main ways to do it. Each method is chosen based on the depth and location of the oil sands. The choice of method significantly impacts the efficiency and environmental footprint of the extraction process. The first is surface mining. This method is typically used when the oil sands are located relatively close to the surface of the earth. Surface mining involves removing large amounts of overburden, which is the soil and rock covering the oil sands. Think of giant trucks and shovels digging up the earth to reach the oil sands. These massive machines work tirelessly to move tons of material, creating large open pits where the oil sands are exposed and can be collected. This method is used when the oil sands are close to the surface. The exposed oil sands are then transported to processing facilities where the bitumen is separated from the sand and clay. The second way is called in-situ extraction. This method is employed when the oil sands are buried deep underground, making surface mining impractical. This is used when the oil sands are deeper underground. In-situ extraction involves drilling wells into the oil sands and using various techniques to bring the bitumen to the surface. Steam is pumped down to melt the thick bitumen so it can be pumped up to the surface. This process, known as steam-assisted gravity drainage, SAGD, involves injecting steam into the reservoir to reduce the viscosity of the bitumen, allowing it to flow more easily to the production wells. Once the bitumen is brought to the surface, it undergoes further processing to remove impurities and convert it into synthetic crude oil. This synthetic crude can then be refined into various petroleum products such as gasoline, diesel, and jet fuel. Environmental considerations are a crucial aspect of oil sands extraction. Companies are required to reclaim the land after mining operations are completed. This involves restoring the landscape to its natural state, replanting vegetation, and ensuring that local wildlife can return to the area. The use of advanced technology plays a significant role in making oil sands extraction more efficient and environmentally friendly. Innovations in drilling techniques, monitoring systems, and processing methods continue to improve the overall sustainability of the industry. Safety is another critical component of oil sands extraction. Rigorous safety protocols are in place to protect workers and minimize the risk of accidents. Regular training and the use of protective equipment ensure that operations are conducted safely. Extracting oil from sand is a monumental task that requires a blend of human ingenuity, technological advancements, and a commitment to environmental stewardship. As the demand for energy continues to grow, the oil sands industry remains a vital part of the global energy landscape, providing a significant source of petroleum while striving to minimize its environmental impact. A pricey proposition: the economics of oil sands. Extracting oil from the oil sands requires a lot of money. The process is complex and involves several stages, each demanding significant financial investment. From the initial exploration and assessment of the oil sands deposits to the construction of the extraction facilities, every step is capital-intensive. Building the mines, buying the equipment, and using energy to get the oil out is very expensive. The infrastructure needed to support these operations is vast, including roads, pipelines, and processing plants. Heavy machinery such as excavators and trucks are essential for moving the oil sands, and these machines themselves are costly to purchase and maintain. This means oil from the oil sands costs more to produce than traditional oil. The extraction process is more labor-intensive and energy-consuming. Traditional oil extraction often involves drilling a well and pumping out the oil, which is relatively straightforward. In contrast, oil sands extraction requires separating the bitumen from the sand and clay, which is a more complicated and expensive process. However, when the price of oil is high, oil sands can be profitable. The global oil market is known for its volatility, with prices fluctuating based on supply and demand, geopolitical events, and other factors. During periods of high oil prices, the higher production costs of oil sands can be offset by the increased revenue, making these operations financially viable. Many companies are willing to invest because there's so much oil to be extracted. The oil sands of Canada are one of the largest reserves of crude oil in the world, containing billions of barrels of recoverable oil. This potential for long-term production attracts significant investment from both domestic and international companies looking to secure a stable supply of oil. This makes Canada a major player in the global oil market. The country's vast oil sands reserves contribute significantly to its economy, providing jobs and generating revenue. Additionally, Canada's position as a stable and reliable supplier of oil enhances its influence in the global energy market. The development of oil sands has also spurred advancements in technology and environmental management practices, as companies strive to make the extraction process more efficient and less harmful to the environment. Nature pays the price: environmental consequences. While the oil sands offer economic benefits, they come at a cost to the environment. Clearing land for mining removes forests, which are home to many animals. This destroys their habitat. The mining process also creates huge amounts of waste called tailings. These tailings are stored in large ponds, which can harm wildlife and contaminate water. Burning the oil from the sands also releases greenhouse gases, contributing to climate change. Moving mountains, risking rivers, transportation troubles. Getting the oil from the sands to refineries, where it can be turned into gasoline and other products, is another challenge. Pipelines are built to transport the oil over long distances. However, pipelines can leak and spill oil, harming the environment. Oil is also transported by trains, which can derail and cause spills. These risks worry people who live near pipelines and train routes. Jobs versus environment, a delicate balance. The oil sands industry creates jobs and boosts the Canadian economy. It provides livelihoods for many people. It also generates revenue for the government, which can be used for public services like healthcare and education. However, this economic growth comes at the cost of environmental damage and potential risks to human health. This raises an important question: can we find a balance between economic development and environmental protection? Weighing the costs, is it worth it? Canada's oil sands present a complex dilemma. They offer economic opportunities but also pose significant environmental challenges. The question remains, are the benefits worth the risks? There are no easy answers. It is important to consider all sides of the issue and engage in thoughtful discussion about the future of Canada's oil sands. What do you think?